My name is Anuj. I am the field marketing specialist here in Santa Cruz and Monterey County. And today, like the slide that hopefully everybody is looking at, we're going to be talking about personal branding and design concierge. So, I'm going to ask that everybody please remain muted throughout the entirety of the session. If you have questions and you're worried about forgetting them, please feel free to put them in the chat window, which again should open up on either side of my head if you open it, or on either side of the presentation, I should say. You can put everything there. I will open up the floor for a Q&A period at the end. My goal is to get everybody out of here in less than a half an hour with the questions. That way everyone can kind of digest what we've talked about and bring that into their business. That's really it from me. You will get a recap after this session, which covers some of the notes we went through and has a recording to this presentation. That recording will also take you to my YouTube channel where you can watch any of my other previously recorded sessions. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our class today. So we're going to talk about what Design Concierge is and where you can access it, what types of services are available. We'll do a brief live walkthrough of the system and then a Q&A period. This is a really simple session today. We're talking about personal branding and how Coldwell Banker and the Design Concierge team is here to help you invest in your own business to help set you apart in your marketplace. So what does that all mean? I think a lot of brokerages, I think a great example is thinking about the agent I was working with earlier today, someone who's new to our brokerage and is unfamiliar to having to promote themselves as a business versus promoting the brokerage as a business. Coldwell Banker and the studio team make the branding process easy, because what we do, along with your field marketing specialist and your SSAs, is work on helping you develop your own identity within this larger brokerage. So as we work on being the number one in each marketplace, you can work on individualizing yourself within that market space and leverage the size and all of the great things you get from Coldwell Banker and incorporate your own personal brand as well. So Design Concierge is a tile that you will access through your CB desk. So it's one of the apps that is located there. And a quick tip that you see right on this slide is you can also search for Design Concierge in the filter icon, which is what you see right here. Oh, my mouse doesn't show. There it is. Right here. And again, when we go into the live demo, I can quickly show you that. Pretty simple. It's obviously something that'll appear in the marketing section, or you can type Design Concierge and find it that way. Your home screen looks like this. You've got a menu on the left-hand side, much like the desk menu that breaks into the subcategories of the platform. And then you've got a bunch of go-to options right at the front. The first thing you're going to want to do every time you come in here, not every time, but the first time, is click on the icon at the top right, which will take you to your profile. You can come in here and edit your profile. Make sure you have the appropriate email, the appropriate, if your business name is different from your legal name, make sure that shows up here. If the phone number you need to feature isn't there yet, make sure you put that there. If you need to add your headshot, do it. If you already have an existing logo that you're looking to leverage into other parts of your branding, put that in here as well. This is a place where you not only can start from square one, like I've done with a ton of my agents, but you can also revamp, retool, or bolster your current brand, depending on what your situation is. We have a handful of great semi-custom designs. So what I like to talk with a lot of my agents about is budgeting. Like any business, your business has an operating budget and a marketing budget. Your operating budget, luckily enough, is fixed. That is the ASP you pay to Coldwell Banker. Unless you're paying rent anywhere else, you don't have any other operating budgets. What you do have is marketing expenses, and all of those marketing expenses need to fall into one of two categories. Does it A, help raise awareness for your brand, like investing in your brand, or like HomeSpot boost ads or social ad engine? Or does it raise engagement with your brand? Things like clients for life, help you generate leads. Is it do the same like the listing concierge program, right? Every dollar spent should fall into one of those categories. But depending on your budget, you may or may not be able to do all kinds of things right out of the gate. Again, that's where your field team comes in handy. We're here to help and work with you to make sure your business is as successful and sustainable as it can be. And the best way for a lot of our entry level or newer agents is to start with some kind of semi-custom brand. These are all pre-made designs that you can manipulate within certain parameters, but in essence, you're just looking at a slightly different version of one of the logos that you would be looking at. The full custom side is what it sounds like. You get the opportunity to work with a graphic designer to flesh out every detail from start to finish about a brand and how it fits into the rest of the assets that you intend to use. Now, whether it's semi-custom or full custom, all the other assets are built around that logo. So if you don't have a logo, it's going to be really hard to think about things like business cards, brochures, listing concierge templates, etc. You're not going to know what your color scheme looks like. You're not going to know what your typeset is. You won't have a brand book. Every finished product comes with a brand book that gives you all of those details, just like you would get from any designer that you work with. You'll get the colors down to the Pantones that you're using, the font and typesets that are being used, the spacing, all of those great things. So you can take that design and go to any printer and do what you need to with it, whether it be business cards, whether it gets signage, whatever the case may be. Custom designs aren't fixed like the semi-custom. So the semi-custom all have fixed costs. The custom designs, as you imagine, are based upon the work being done. It is a leveraged price. So the company picks up most of the tab, just like listing concierge, right? Every listing concierge package that costs the agent $1,000 costs the company $5,000. You want to think about it like that. This is the same kind of thing happening. You're paying about $50 an hour, which is outstandingly low for graphic design work. And you can start with an estimate, or what I usually recommend is work with your field team. You have a field marketing specialist, reach out to them, do that work so you can start your project now. Most of the logos that I built with my agents run anywhere from $250 to $350, and that is an outstanding cost for a finished product with a brand book included. Now, we also bundle these things like I talked about. If you're ready and financially available to start really kicking in some of this stuff as per your marketing and business plan, we've got two great programs to bundle things. Especially when you think about out of the gate, what are things you need that are consumer facing that will grab their attention right out of the gate. So the brand boost package is something that's low cost to get you started across the board. You get your custom logo. That is a fully custom logo. You get custom business cards. You'll get a semi-custom Outlook and semi-custom email signature and a professional bio. Now, the Disruptor package for $1,500 is that plus more. You get a full logo. You also get your listing concierge templates. You also get a personal brochure. You get a website built by Luxury Presence. You get property marketing templates. You get a bio, everything that you need for brand representation in the marketplace is included in this package. I do a lot of these with my agents. It's really the most that we talk about when it comes to what we do in Design Concierge, especially the more established agents, because you think about your timeline and the things that you need to group together. And this is the best way to kick everything out of the gate and move in one foul swoop. So during a quarter, you can be prepared. But again, everybody's budget's different. I would recommend talk to your field marketing specialist, talk to your manager, and figure out what's going to work best for your business. What are the needs that your business has, and how can you best address them? But we've tried to do our best on the studio side to group these and make it easy for you. So I'm going to send you guys a link to the portfolio gallery, and you can see some of the great stuff that's been built out of this system, both on the semi-custom and full custom side. So you can think about what you want to leverage and build into your brand. And like I said, you get a full brand book back. They'll give you every type of format that you need for your file, so then you can you own that design. I'm going to go ahead and dive into Design Concierge real quick so we can take a quick peek at it live before I open up for any questions. And it looks like I'm doing well on time, which is awesome. Because here we go. All right. So we are looking at CB Desk. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, make this a bit easier to look at. And this is what we've been talking about right here, Design Concierge. Also found by filtering. You can just uncheck all of these and just get your marketing tools. Or you can type design and bam, look at all that. Easy peasy. I'm going to turn all these back on because I'm going to need them later. But let's go ahead and dive in. And give it 1 sec to load. I'm obviously recording a meeting, sharing my screen, doing all kinds of fun stuff. So my internet's definitely doing its workload. And here we are. This is where you will build your brand. So like I said, go into the profile section. You can look to make sure all of this information is correct. It's basically going to pull in from licensing. So if you do notice something in here that is incorrect, you can come in here and edit it. And make sure you click on that update profile button at the bottom. And also make sure you get all of these links in here. Now, let's look at semi-custom. As you can see here, we've got business cards, signatures, logos. And like I was talking about with the logos, you'll see you've got a handful of designs that you can look at based on your area. So let's say, I'm just going to pick my region real quick. And bam, you can look, you can select multiple designs that you want to look at and manipulate them based on how you'd like to see yourself appear. I can move this over, maybe change the font. All kinds of good stuff you can kind of play with. Like I said, it's fairly simple, right? You're going to be looking at a basic editor. And then you can add in a handful of notes for the designer, and you get a couple of revisions. There's also a great walkthrough video here that you can look at. But a lot of the semi-custom stuff is going to fall into the same pattern. You will pick something that you can manipulate within a certain amount of degree, and that's what keeps the price fixed to where it is. $79, $350 for the templates. Personal brochures, I think, are, that doesn't say here, but you get the idea. Custom designs, again, are like what they sound like. They'll all vary based on the designs that you are looking at, and they are all listed here. And all of these are fully custom, working with the designer to build something that works around the brand you have developed. So these are all long-term planning decisions, right? Lines up with your business plan, which you should be working on with your manager. Talk to your field marketing specialist. How does your marketing plan fit into that business plan? What are you doing to make sure you meet those goals that you have for yourself in 3, 5, 7, 10 years? And how are we doing the best to promote your brand to your consumers to grow and sustain your business in those spaces? And again, I'm just going to review. You've got your brand boost package in here. You can start all of these projects. And once you start one, you can save at any point, and it will dump into your My Projects section, where you can always come in here and review things, delete, or purchase. So you can see this was a semi-custom logo. I started back in February, and it would have been $79 because it's semi-custom. And that is Design Concierge, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor to questions. Feel free to let me know if you have any. And unmute yourself or go ahead and type it in the chat window, whatever you are comfortable with. All right. Well, if there are not any questions, I will go ahead and stop the recording.